Hello, crypto community. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be covering Cardano and one more, and that is going to be specifically Solana. So don't go anywhere. Sit tight. Help us support the channel. Do so by subscribing and clicking the bell notification so that way you don't miss any more of our videos. So I am parked on the daily time frame simply because giving you some information on this is a little bit easier than going back to the other time frames, unless I'm just highlighting some areas that I would consider of going into the market. But more than likely, by the time that you watch the video, you've already missed that kind of signal. So, like I said, sitting in the daily time frame, Cardano is sitting at about $1.02. There's 12 hours and 34 minutes left into this time frame. There was a signal, and I think it's very important to note something right here. So if you notice, a couple of days ago, there was a three-line strike bullish engulfing candle that kind of popped up right here. If you got into that, you should hopefully you sat in and looked at really what was going on in the other indicators. So so some confluence, right? So there was a bearish divergence that popped in. You can kind of see that right here, right? So like, take a look. Even though it's in an uptrend at this moment, bearish divergence, and that kind of tricked everybody out, right? Now it's moving towards the 21 moving average. It's still bullish, right? So don't get me wrong, but it did get dropped off right there. Now, however, if it starts to continue to park on down, then that's a different kind of question, right? So if we go below the 21 EMA, then chances are it's going to pick up some momentum, but it looks like it's getting stopped at some areas, right? So some support and resistance, right? So this would be an area Oh, of support. Not really, because we just don't have anything unless you're like looking way back, but kind of sitting. Yeah, you'd have to like look way back here from like February of 2022 to like really kind of catch that. But those are still things that a lot of people aren't going back and doing. Yeah, right here is another one, right? So we were sitting in some consolidation back in January of 2022. So that's one right there. One market structure and another one sitting right here, and you can kind of see this is actually going to be kind of important. Let me just draw a little box right here for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about, because we kind of touched this little area, right? And I'm just going to move it up just a little bit, and it looks like we're bouncing off of that. I wouldn't be surprised in the next days it kind of makes like a head and shoulders, right? So it makes up a head and shoulders. We come back to this point and kind of retest, but pay attention to your EMAs, what the 50 EMA and the 21 EMA is going to be doing in that area. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't retest 107, $1.07 in the next couple of days, pretty strong. So pay attention to that. But the 1 hour time frame, right here, you can kind of see that bearish sentiment going on. And here is our candle too. You can see a little bit better that little area of support. So rejection, right? Boom, boom, boom. Got hit pretty hard with that, right? And then we got a candle, an engulfing candle, and then we kind of moved up. So, like for example, if it started off here and it started going down, but you did buy and you had your stop loss at least from the last candle or so, you probably made a couple pips, right? Like, well, not even a couple of pips, but you probably made some money, right? But more so, it would be more important to kind of like look at this and then trade on the higher time frame. But even 5 minutes, uh, you got to be kind of careful, right? So if you're just kind of like scalping out based on that, but here's that bullish engulfing candle. But here's the thing, like when you look at it this way, and I think this is what a lot of people do, they look at the chart and they just see the candles and they kind of get like this tunnel vision. They're like, oh, bullish engulfing and this and that. But I think the thing is that they still get kind of lost, right? Especially a lot of beginners in trading, you have to think about trading with the trend, right? So like they're going against the trend. They're like, oh well, we're above the 50 and we're above the 21. Yeah, but you're still below the 200 EMA, right? So if you're trading on the 5 minute chart, like you're getting murdered right now. Like that's the thing. So we're still below it. Right. And when you look at like the 1 hour time frame, if you're trading the 1 hour, or even better yet, let me just kind of pop up Where's the 15-minute? Yeah, there we go. Let's like look at the 15-minute, right? Here, it's even important to note you're in between the 21 and you're in between the 50, so you're kind of going to be sitting in consolidation. You can even see it more so based on if you just like draw your trend lines a little bit. I mean, you're still like, even though it's kind of like moving up, it's still not really doing anything. So you don't want that at all. And that's kind of your big markers. So if you have the 21, the 50, and the 200, and like you see that, now you can scalp those, but you want some volume and you don't really want to be. I guess if you're trying to get in the trade and get out, then like maybe that's fine. But for me, you're not. I'm just not going to make enough cash coming in here unless you have like massive amounts of like lot sizes. If you have these massive lot sizes coming in, then yeah, cool. Like, yeah, but for the most part, if I'm coming in, I don't know, with like $1,000 or so, like to come in for what, like if you just like look at the most, let's just say you came in right here and you maxed out right there and you said, okay, no, which is that's kind of what it's doing. Look at that. 1 pip, like 2 pips really, 1 or 2 pips, kind of. It's just not really worth the headache over, and you still have to wait, 30 minutes to do so. So, or I'll get trapped, or something like that. So I'm not falling for that. So that's why I always try to stay away from trading into any kind of consolidation, or better yet, to make it easier for you, in between the moving averages. So be a little cautious on that. So either way, Cardano, when we come up to the 1 daily. I think right now I wouldn't be buying exactly right now if I'm looking at the daily, right? I'm not going to fall for that. Now, even though it says to go bullish, right? Now, you could probably can in the long run, but it's just not a good, for me, it wouldn't be a good time right now, because even though we have 12 hours left, just looking at the wick that's already formed within the last 12 hours, the lower price is getting rejected, but it would be moving up into a resistance area. And that's kind of what I'm thinking here would be a little dangerous. I would need some kind of confluence, but who knows, right? So it's saying, I believe that this little area right here is kind of a signal that there's going to be a break in market structure. I mean, that is a break in market structure. It's some kind of consolidating. Now it's dropped off, but I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of comes back up a little bit. And if it does that and you ride that wave up there, great. But for example, if you went long for right on this candle or even the following candle, and you're like, okay, you probably got stopped out already, or unless you like parked it way below here, but that's a massive deal. So too much of a risk for me on the daily frame. Hourly, why not? If I'm looking at hourly, I can go with the trend, which is down, right? Even here, if you bought, you kind of finally made it to go up, but still too close to call. So the 5-minute time frame is probably going to be the better. And even as you see, 3 line strike. Plus, even the last just like few minutes, we got engulfing candle, right? Hardly nothing coming on, still working its way down, breaking past the 21 EMA, and it looks like it's marching to pass the 50 EMA as well. And kind of, it looks like it will go to that trend line a little bit, but it pretty much respects. I mean, like their consolidation, horrible trades, just like not doing anything. Breaks above it, comes back down. If it continues on further, which I think it will, um, yeah, not so great. We got a trend line kind of coming up. We got a break in market structure going up, going up, going up. But it looks like if it will cross back down here and go past this trend line, we got a new trend coming on, and that's just going to be a different one. So hold your horses for at least the next couple of hours just to pay attention. So that's it for Cardano, but maybe in the next couple of days, let's say in the next 2 weeks, I would expect it to be a little bit more profitable, right? So maybe we'll touch $1.10 in the next week or so, 2 weeks, unless something just breaks out and happens, right? So we just gotta wait for that one and see. But the price is pretty sad. Okay, what about Solana? So right now, of course, according to the 200 EMA, the 21 and the 50, we're going bullish, right? Just because it's parked above the 200 EMA. However, we got a three-line strike, a huge engulfing candle following that. We just crossed the 21 EMA, just completely violate. We're starting to violate it pretty well. Looks like we're gonna start working our way to it. There you go. And another thing. Here's a moment. Let me just draw this up here. Like, cool, 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 but it's starting to arch. You can kind of see it starting to arch. So I think the price is just going to continue to go down, to be honest. So Solana, I think we're gonna go quite low. Possibly even to 195, 197 if it continues this way. So it's going to be an interesting moment in the next couple of weeks, just to kind of highlight that there for you guys. But yeah, trend line is going up, but I think we can just go ahead and scrap that one because we got a new trend coming. So this is why it's important to honestly make your trend lines and kind of go based on that as well. And not just your indicators, because your indicators say, yeah, everything's great. Yeah, cool. This told me to buy. Yeah, but you see our point. But why is it really showing us to buy? So, right, so we go to the 1 hour time frame. We're sitting below all three smooth moving averages we've had. But here, yeah, here, and this was a cool one. I hate that I missed that trade because we got a three strike engulfing candle. We have another engulfing candle, and that would have been perfect to enter because, like, if you could have rode all the way that down for a good 10 or 15 pips, man, that would have been awesome. Now we got another three-line strike, but you can see if you pay attention to the candle patterns right here, that probably wasn't so hot to do. It did go up a little bit, but it got swarmed by another engulfing candle. So if, let's just say, like, this happened and you started off like right here, you probably made a little bit, right? Went back down, came back up, and then like when that candle closed and you seen it started dropping down, yeah, that was your kind of like sell signal. But even now, like you probably just broke even within like 4 hours on that. What? And that's really cool. Like what? 4 hours just for a few bucks? Not so great. I mean, like, mm, yeah, just not so hot. Just really, really not so hot. But either way, we're moving around, kind of consolidating a little bit on the 1 hour. But the 5 minute time frame too, consolidating on the 5 minutes. And even the 5 minute is telling us to go to short it. Yeah, and it looks like it's bouncing off the 50. Bouncing off the 50, bouncing off the 21. And I can't really see it. I'm blind, if you can't tell. Um, Make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's getting rejected off of the moving average. So don't even need support and resistance. And for the most part, it kind of respects that 21, right? Like you can kind of see minus the in and out weaving over it, but that's consolidation only. But for the most part, even when you check this out here later on down, it respects that 21 level quite well. So seeing that it's getting like bouncing off that here and with the candle and with below the 21 and I think if it falls a little bit further to the 30 on the RSI, you're pretty good. I mean, like you probably made some money if you entered that already. Um, but for the most part, and it needs to get to the 30. Yeah, you see the bull divergence right here. You missed that one too. But you were getting swamped out too pretty fast. So pay attention, all right, guys. But that's why it's so dangerous because even though you get these like candles, like the three strike bull, like you're in and out, and you can see like getting swamped up here. So pay attention to that, guys, please. But let's take a look at the market as a total, right? So Ethereum 2.8. XRP fell by 6.8. Solana's down by 4.4. Cardano also took a hit at 8.5 as well. The market sucks today. Even for the weekly, it's starting to suck. We need to see something happen by the next week. Polkadot 6.8. God, everything is falling. Weekly too, everything took a hit. XRP fell 20% last week. Man, Cardano also 20%. But Ethereum and Bitcoin survived. TRX actually outperformed those two as well at 13.4. Polkadot 19.5%. Dot 13.6% as well. I'm sorry, Matic and then Dot. I get those like all like swarmed up sometimes, but you guys can take a look. So let me know what you thought, what you think on Solana, what you think on Cardano as well. What's your opinions on it? Are you going to buy? Are you going to hold? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to trade it back and forth? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.